Hey guys, Omni here. We got yet another trailer from TGS that came out that I wanted to talk about. This time around, also from Capcom, we have the story trailer for Resident Evil 2, the remake. Um, I've been playing the Resident Evil series since the very first game, when that came out on PlayStation 1. They've had their ups and downs, but since they remade the first game, honestly, the remake of the first game is one of my favorites. Personally, I'm the odd one out. Resident Evil 3 is actually probably my personal favorite Resident Evil game. It is not the best Resident Evil game, but it's my favorite. And with Resident Evil 2 coming along the way here with its remake, it's only hopeful. And I know that they've said in the past that they had intended to do a remake of 2 and 3. So hopefully with this, it's just a step into the direction to getting to a remake of that one. But we're not going to talk about it too much here. We're just going to go ahead and jump into the trailer and check it out. I know we haven't talked about Resident Evil too much on...
What's your mom like?
She works at
Good
Umbrella.
lord, this looks good.
So where's your dad?
He
He turned into a giant monster thing. There he is.
he's gone.
So nobody knows what caused this?
There's a lot of theories.
And we got a...
But all I know for sure is that this place is crawling with zombies.
Dude.
Leon.
Get down! Come on! I'll be there!
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure you beat me here.
By the way, rumor has it goes straight to your underground lab. Lab?
Dude.
You gotta be kidding me.
This is what I've been waiting for. The only way to return Resident Evil to its olden days is to just go back to its olden days. Dude, Ada looks great.
What's going on here?
This game in general
Sorry.
looks so good.
That information's classified.
Seems to be evolving much faster than expected.
They've definitely made some
Cares about that. They wanna know about the G
story
virus. What
streamlining
exactly are you looking for?
in this.
More info on the people responsible for this mess.
What the?
Especially with the police officers they showed earlier. They've definitely taken some liberties with rewriting
Sherry, come on.
how some of this stuff goes down.
Claire, wake up!
After you.
G? Thanks.
Good lord. So the game looks great. It's been a long time since I've played Resident Evil 2, but I've played the beginning of that game quite a bit. I do remember when you meet that cop originally. He's up against the wall in one of the rooms in the police station. Eventually you go around, you explore the police station, you come back, and he's just turned. From what we've seen in this one, now on my own time, I didn't make a video about it because it got lost in translation. It got lost in all the other stuff that I've been working on or doing, especially with stuff for the channel and outside in my personal life. Kind of got in the way of me making a video about the first trailers we saw for this game. But we've seen him interacting with Leon a lot more, and now he's also interacting with Claire. Unless I completely am misremembering this, he's definitely got a bigger role before he turns into a zombie. Spoilers, if you've never played Resident Evil 2, he's clearly already wounded in this, but eventually he turns. And, you know, you only get like a couple of lines with this dude in the original game. And he's helping them look stuff up and telling them things, giving them hints and all that stuff. So he's like more of a supporting character, at least from what we've seen in this so far about the remake. From what I have also seen, this is basically it's running off of the engine that they used for Resident Evil 7. In the gameplay trailers that came out about a month ago, 2 months ago, something like that, I can't remember. At what was it? Gamescom. They showed the gameplay trailers for Leon and Claire. A lot of the UI and interface is carried over from Resident Evil 7. It's just instead of a first person, they're going back to the third person aspect, a little tighter to the shoulder than we have, to give you kind of a claustrophobic feel when you're traversing these corridors in the police station, the laboratories, and all of that stuff. I really like that Resident Evil is going back to this survival horror, its roots, than the action game that it turned into. Not that I didn't like Resident Evil 4. I loved Resident Evil 4. It was really good. The only problem I had with this is you weren't fighting zombies anymore. And that's a personal problem of mine. I didn't really like the Plagas. I didn't like that whole transition from the virus umbrella and all that stuff into the parasites as much. And then come 6, it just was ridiculous. But Resident Evil 7 did something a little bit in between. It was a little bit of a mix between those, and but it took it back to that survival horror roots and really made a kind of isolated, disturbing, scary little game. And that's what these are doing. They're taking it back to that. There's a couple of scattered out characters. You're not alone per se as much as you were before in 7, but it's definitely claustrophobic. You're taking it back to the roots of these characters. This is where Leon, even, he's a rookie. This is like his first week on the force or something, if I remember right. So he's not that ninja with borderline superhuman strength and speed that he has in Resident Evil 4 or 6. And he's definitely not Chris and punching boulders. So, like, taking it back to that, because with Resident Evil, if you follow the same characters who keep getting into the same situations throughout their time with dealing with these bioweapons, of course they're going to no longer be affected by it. It's just the natural progression of following those characters. Eventually, they're just going to be numb to it and know how to deal with it and handle themselves, and that's where you evolve it into an action franchise. The only way to deviate from that and get back to your survival horror roots is to either A, remake it like they did here, or give it off to a new character who has not experienced one of these creatures or any of these types of creatures before. Like with Ethan, like he's never dealt with any of this stuff. So being in his shoes, this is the first time he's come across this stuff. Given in the game itself, he doesn't really react like it's anything out of the ordinary too much. So, oh no, my hand, magic juice, my hand back. But like, we're taking it back to the characters we know and love in a setting where they are the fish out of water. They are the ones who are trying to learn how to cope with this epidemic, this change, this disaster that has come on. So it's the starting point. It's the only way to get it to have us with the characters we love, but take it back to the horror element that we've been missing for a long time. But all I can say about it is it looks great. I know there's been some I wouldn't call it controversy, but there's been some opinions about the new looks for Leon and Claire and stuff like that. But it works. It doesn't bother me. I didn't like how they changed Chris from 5 and 6 to 7. Given Chris in 7 looks a lot more like Chris in 1 than any of the other ones did. So in a way, I don't know. It's a give or take as far as the character. It's the characters that are important, not so much the way they look, I would say. As long as this feels like Leon, this feels like Claire, and we get a genuine retelling of that classic Resident Evil storyline, with the zombies, with Umbrella, the G and T viruses, I'll be satisfied. I'm just happy to be shooting some zombies again instead of Plagas or Ouroboros or the mold. So yeah, I'm classic Resident Evil fan here. Not gonna lie. Anyway, that's all the thoughts I have on this. I'd like to hear what you all think about the trailer, about some of the previous gameplay we've seen on this. What's your favorite Resident Evil game? What did you like about it? What would you like to see with the series going forward? Leave those in the comments, and like and subscribe if you like this video. Feel free to check out any of my others, and I will catch you all next time.